The Lane reunion is dead on arrival. Just as Traci Abbott is convincing Lily to give Kane another chance for the sake of the twins, Phyllis Summers is busy lighting the match that burns it all down. Lily walks into Kane's office only to witness a full-blown makeout session. For Lily, it's the ultimate betrayal. For Phyllis, it's just the first step in a new plan to take over the world. A new power couple or a dangerous alliance. Phyllis isn't just back for a kiss. She's back for blood. She pitches a massive new scheme to Kane: team up, steal the AI program back from Victor, and take over Newman Enterprises together. Calling him her Aristotle, Phyllis convinces a reluctant Kane that they are the only ones capable of taking down the mustache and claiming the money and power they deserve. The hunt for Sienna intensifies. Noah is back on his feet after the park ambush, but the mental battle is just beginning. While Nick suspects Sienna might be a willing participant in her own kidnapping, a taunting phone call from Matt Clark aka Mitch Beale forces the Newman men into a temporary truce. Nick is now stepping up to the plate, calling Matt back to propose a high-stakes deal to bring Sienna home. The Abbott family's new secret weapon. In a rare moment of unity, Traci Abbott officially welcomes Diane into the fold. Acknowledging that Diane might be the fighter the Abbotts need to survive Victor's war, Traci offers a blessing that solidifies Diane's place in the family. But with Diane secretly texting Michael Baldwin for intel, the peace at the Abbott mansion is built on a very dangerous foundation. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We are breaking down the Tuesday, December 23rd episode of The Young and the Restless. And let's just say this season of giving has officially been replaced by the season of getting caught. We've got a romantic disaster that is going to break the internet, a kidnapping that is tearing the Newmans apart, and a new alliance between Phyllis and Kane that could change the power balance in Genoa City forever. Now, let's start in the park where Noah Newman is finally waking up with a massive headache. He was knocked out cold before Sienna Beale was snatched, and the first thing he does is call Nick and Sharon. They meet at Crimson Lights, but the reunion isn't exactly warm. Nick does what Nick does. He plays the skeptic. He suggests that maybe Sienna was the one who knocked Noah out and that she left with Matt Clark because she wanted to. As you can imagine, Noah is absolutely livid. He's fallen for this girl and he refuses to believe she's a villain. But then the phone rings. It's Matt Clark calling from a seedy motel room just to taunt Noah. This guy is a total monster and Noah is desperate. He even offers to trade himself for Sienna's release. Sharon even gets on the line to threaten Matt, but he just hangs up. This is where Nick finally steps up. He realizes they can't just sit around bickering. They have to force Matt's hand. Nick decides to call him back and propose a deal. We are looking at a high-stakes game of poker where Sienna's life is the pot and Nick is ready to go all in. Meanwhile, over at Society, we have a heartbreaking moment of irony. Traci Abbott is having a meal with Lily and she is being the ultimate matchmaker. She's encouraging Lily to find happiness with Kane, arguing that it would be the best thing for her and the twins. Lily actually seems to be considering it. She wants to believe Kane has changed. But while Traci is busy selling Lane, Phyllis is busy stealing the man. Phyllis shows up at Kane's office with a Christmas gift, a puzzle cube, and a whole lot of humility. She admits she regrets walking away and that she's ready to team up again. Kane assumes she's only there because her plot against Victor failed, but Phyllis has a much bigger vision. She wants to steal the AI program back and take over Newman Enterprises with Kane by her side. She starts calling him Aristotle, urging him to let his genius side out so they can take over the world together. And then it happens. Phyllis leans over that office chair and the tension snaps into a kiss. And who should be standing in the doorway at that exact second? Lily. Talk about a punch to the gut. Lily sees the whole makeout session. And just like that, everything Traci said about happiness goes up in smoke. Spoilers say this is a massive setback that might actually be the end of the road for Lily and Kane. Phyllis isn't just a home wrecker. She's a legacy wrecker. But wait, there's one more twist to the Abbott mansion. Traci meets with Diane, who is secretly texting Michael Baldwin for updates on the Victor war. You'd think Traci would be suspicious, but instead she gives Diane a hug. She tells Diane that she might be exactly the kind of fighter the Abbott family needs right now. It is a huge moment of acceptance for Diane, but it's also a little terrifying. If the peace-loving Traci is endorsing Diane's war tactics, things with Victor are about to get very, very ugly. The consequences of this Tuesday episode are going to ripple all the way through the new year. We've got Noah fighting for a girl his father doesn't trust. Lily facing a devastating betrayal. And Phyllis and Kane plotting a corporate coup that would make Victor Newman's head spin. So, I have to ask you guys, is Nick right to be suspicious of Sienna, or is he just being a typical overprotective Newman? Do you think Phyllis and Kane or Aristotle actually have what it takes to run Newman Enterprises? And most importantly, is there any way Lily can ever forgive Kane after what she just saw? Drop your theories in the comments below. I want to know if you're Team Lily or Team Phyllis on this one. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the pre-Christmas chaos, hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest Y&R spoilers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Before we continue, unlock an extra 15% off your purchase at Extrema Cookware with code BYEBYE at checkout. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer to upgrade your kitchen with the best in non-toxic, eco-friendly cookware. Claire finally did what no one else in the Newman clan has had the guts to do. She cut ties with Victor. After everything from emotional manipulation to constant jabs, Claire reached her limit, and it all came to head at Cole's memorial when Victor couldn't resist throwing shade at Kyle. That moment sealed it. Claire's not trying to win him over anymore. She's walking away for good. Claire's quiet rebellion. This wasn't a tantrum or a snap decision. It's been coming for weeks. Claire has tried everything to earn her grandfather's respect, but there's always another test, always another put down. Now she sees it clearly. She doesn't need to change to fit into Victor's mold. She's done dancing to his tune. And the way she walked away, calm, direct, full of self-worth. That alone flipped the power dynamic. And that's exactly why it stung. Victor's not letting go. Victor doesn't know how to lose, especially not when it comes to family. Claire pulling away won't make him back off. It'll make him dig in deeper. Expect more meddling, more pressure, and probably a few underhanded plays to get her back under his control. Otter couldn't shake Claire and Kyle apart, and now Victor's patience is wearing thin. But every move he makes only proves CLA right. She's not the same girl who came to Genoa City looking for love and approval. She's building her own foundation now. Claire and Kyle stronger than ever. Claire and Kyle are showing everyone what unity looks like on the fire. They've both grown up under impossible family legacies and are choosing to write their own story. As Victor pushes harder, their bond only seems to get stronger. They're not just surviving the chaos, they're turning it into power. Fallout ahead for the Newmans. If Victor keeps pushing, he may lose more than Claire. With Nikki exhausted by the drama and Victoria standing by her daughter, it's starting to feel like the Newman empire is cracking from within. Claire's exit wasn't just personal. It was a declaration. And if Victor doesn't listen, he might find himself completely alone. Whose side are you on? Claire's or Victor's? Let us know in the comments. Hit like if you're ready to see Claire take charge, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next big shakeup in Genoa City. Thanks for watching, folks, and hope to see you guys in the next video. Wednesday, August 6th is shaping up to be anything but quiet in Genoa City. With confessions flying, alliances shifting, and one fiery confrontation on the horizon, everyone's walking in a tight row, and some are bound to fall. Let's break down the chaos heading your way on The Young and the Restless. Claire's about to explode and Kyle lights the fuse. Just when Claire thinks she's starting to breathe again, Kyle turns around and shakes the ground beneath her. He's been hiding something. Something that happened in France. And today's the day he confesses. It's not the whole truth. Of course, Kai is still protecting himself a little, but he does admit there was a kiss with Audra. It was an innocent and it wasn't accidental. Claire was stunned, but the real fury that's directed squarely at Victor. He's the one who set this whole thing in motion after all. Nikki's playing chess behind the scenes. Meanwhile, Nikki isn't wasting time while the family unravels. She quietly reaches out to Jack with a request, a personal one. Maybe she wants him to play peacemaker between Victor and CLA. Or maybe she's hoping he can talk some sense into Kyle before things go even further off the rails. Either way, Nikki is done watching from the sidelines. Victor ends the game and Audra is out. Across town, the curtain falls on Audra's ambition. Victor doesn't care about excuses anymore. Her mission failed. The deal's off. And the cosmetics company, as far as he's concerned, it might as well vanish. Audrey is stunned but not surprised. And now she's out in the cold with no one left to con. CLA's fire isn't out yet. Back with Claire, things are just getting started. She's learning how deeply Victor manipulated her, and she's not taking it quietly. With Kyle's soft shrew in one hand and others' betrayal on the other, Claire's ready to confront the woman who tried to steal her relationship just to gain power. That showdown is coming. And when it does, sparks will fly. Wednesday's episode is all about fallout, confession, confrontations, and consequences. So, if you're Team Claire and think she deserves justice, hit that like button. If you think Kyle's still hiding more, let your views in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more Young and the Restless breakdowns. Genoa City never sleeps, and neither should we. Phyllis has never been one to sit on the sidelines, and right now on the Young and the Restless she is diving headfirst into a risky alliance with Kane. She calls it a power play, but to everyone watching closely it's starting to look more like desperation masked as ambition. So the real question is, what does Phyllis actually stand to lose? Is anything worth a betting? When Kane laid his cards on the table and told Phyllis is gunning for Chabot, she didn't flinch. She didn't ask questions. She didn't calculate the fallout. She just said, "I'm in." The problem is Kane plays the win. And Phyllis, she might not have as much to bring to the table as she thinks. Unlike Billy, who's amassed experience, resources, and a solid company to fall back on, Phyllis has mostly dabbled. Her last beat success, the Grand Phoenix, came crashing down in spectacular fashion. Since then, it's been one scheme after another. Big on passion, short in payoff. Kane doesn't need her. Let's be honest. Kane doesn't need Phyllis's approval or partnership to go after Chabot or Newman. He's already proven he knows how to dismantle established empires from the inside out. What he does need is people who are willing to burn bridges. And Phyllis has never been afraid of striking a match. If she has any innovative ideas left in her playbook, Kane could easily snatch them, rebrand them, and flip them into gold, leaving Phyllis with nothing but regret and a bad reputation. She's walking a tightrope with someone who knows how to win dirty. And she might be the one who gets played. What loyalty does she really have, Jack? That she sailed long ago. The Amazon humans barely tolerate her. And Summer, well, Summer will survive with or without her mother's influence. So, it begs the question, is Phyllis making this move out of strategy or spite? It's possible she's not thinking long-term at all. Maybe this is just about being part of something, anything, after feeling boxed out by both powerhouse families in town. But if Kane uses her and cuts her loose, Phyllis could find herself more alone than ever. What do you think? Does Phyllis actually have something to lose, or is she bluffing with an empty hand? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Give this a thumbs up if you're watching this alliance closely, and don't forget to subscribe. Travel's brewing all across Genoa City this Friday, and no one seems to be safe, especially not if your last name is Newman or Abbott. At Society, Bill steps in just looking to unwind, but peace is the last thing he's about to get. The air shifts the second Phyllis walks in, and her knack for pressing the wrong buttons has Billy bristling before Jack even shows up. And when the Abbott brothers face off, expect sparks. Lines in the sand for Chelsea. Meanwhile, Chelsea's going to have to pick a side. And it's not as clear-cut as she hoped. With Adam continuing to drag his heels on releasing Victor's planned hit pieces against Billy, Chelsea's beginning to realize that whatever Adam decides, someone's going to lose. She may not like what's happening, but if Adam signs off on Victor's bigger picture, using Kane to dismantle the Abbotts from the inside, then Chelsea's going to have to decide whether to look the other way or walk away for good. Victor's calculated strike. As all this unfolds, Victor moves fast behind the scenes. He's not wasting time. King's just being looped in. And already there's talk of a deal. It's not a matter of trust. Of course, Kane doesn't trust Victor, and Victor wouldn't trust Kane as far as he can throw him, but that doesn't mean they won't shake hands and move forward. Especially if the endgame is mutual destruction for the Abbotts. Victor wants blood, and if Kane's ambition lines up with his, there may be something in it for both of them. Don't expect any warm smiles, but do expect a high-stakes agreement that puts pressure on every Abbott standing, including Jack, Billy, and Lily. False hope and future fallout. Speaking of Lily, she's playing her own game, letting Kane believe there's a chance for them again while secretly sniffing out what he's really up to. The quiet strategy might make her Victor's unknowing pawn, or it might blow up in both their faces. One wrong move and Kane's going to know he's being handled. Whether or not Adam publishes that expose, Victor's real weapon is already in motion. The bigger question, will Chelsea stay behind him once she sees the full picture? And if you love when the drama gets this twisted, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your wildest theories in the comments. Let's start with the biggest shocker, Noah Newman's car crash. Yeah, you heard that right. Noah's in Los Angeles and things take a terrifying turn when he ends up in the hospital after a serious accident. Meanwhile, back in Genoa City, Sharon gets that gut feeling only a mom can have. Something's wrong with her son. She calls Nick and they immediately start planning a trip to LA. Nick, Phyllis and Chelsea and Adam, who surprisingly are totally supportive. Even if Victor throws a fit, they've got Nick's back. Before we continue, find everything you need at Target. From everyday essentials to the latest trends in fashion, tech, and home. Enjoy great deals, fast shipping, and easy returns all in one seamless shopping experience. Make Target your go-to destination for quality, value, and convenience. And of course, Victor does push back at first. But once Nick explains what's happening, Victor softens. He even arranges for Nick to take the Newman jet to LA right away. And the kicker, Sharon calls Nick in tears, saying, "This feels like Cassie 2.0. Heartbreaking." The Newmans are rallying, but can you tell the fear is real? Over at Newman Media, the so-called hit piece on Kane and Colin Atkinson is doing numbers. Great for clicks. Terrible for peace. Kane already warned them he might sue, maybe even launch his own story. But Victor, he is cool as a cucumber. He tells Nikki and Victoria he's not worried, just cautious. Classic Victor, ready for war, but pretending he's not. Meanwhile, Kane and Phyllis are back to scheming. Surprise, surprise. They meet at the GCAC bar, where Kane says he wants to turn his life around. He talks about using this AI software for good, maybe even to win back Lily. And Phyllis, she can't help but roll her eyes. She's like, try donating to charity instead. But then, plot twist, she asks to get her hands on the software just to feel it out. Kane shuts her down, but there's tension, and I mean tension. They have this charged, almost kissed moment before she walks off. After she leaves, Kane calls Lily, doesn't say a word, just listens to her voicemail. Sweet. Maybe creepy. Definitely lean in that way. Over at Society, Chelsea and Adam are celebrating the success of that hit article when Victoria walks in. They invite her to join and the conversation shifts to Claire Newman, who's off in LA with a new friend, Holden Novak. Now, Chelsea and Adam recognize that name and it's not good. Holden's connected to Kane somehow, and that sends up major red flags. Victoria is worried, but she's trying to give Claire some independence. Then Kyle strolls in. He joins the chat, but his mind's clearly somewhere else, namely on Claire. He asks Victoria for her address in LA, saying he wants to win her back. She refuses, reminding him Claire needs space. Kyle doesn't take that well, and you can just tell he's not letting this go. And rumor has it that he's about to make some questionable moves to track her down because of course he is. So yeah, Y&R is firing on all cylinders. Car crashes, par plays, near romances, and more bad decisions waiting to explode. Monday's episode was all about control. Who's losing it? And who's pretending they still have it? That's it for today's recap, folks. Stay tuned because in Genoa City nothing stays buried for long. The entire room goes still like everyone just forgot how to blink for a minute. Tessa's voice is stunning as always and Daniel is looking at her like she personally wrote every love song ever created and their chemistry. Oh, it is not subtle. It is not quiet. It is not innocent. It is screaming through the screen like, "Hi, we're about to have a storyline soon. Stay tuned." And fans everywhere caught it instantly. The eye contact, the soft smiles, the little half-breaths between lyrics, that whole "we shouldn't, but also we might" vibe that soaps love to tease right before they blow everything up. And after the performance, oh my god, the sparks. You could practically see the emotional heat waves radiating off of them like a cartoon desert mirage. They finish singing. They look at each other and the air is so thick with tension you could cut it with a butter knife. And everyone at the wedding is definitely picking up on it because you see a few heads tilt, a few eyebrows raise. Christine and Danny are clapping, but you know Christine is like, okay, but what was that energy? And honestly, she's not wrong because that performance felt less like a tribute to newlyweds and more like a prelude to a scandal. And of course, the spoilers are hinting, no screaming that this is just the beginning. The temptation, the passion, the oops, we caught feelings. Yeah, that's coming. And you can tell by the way Daniel kept staring at Tessa afterward like he was replaying the entire performance frame by frame in his head. Probably wondering when exactly his heart decided to betray him. And Tessa, bless her, is definitely flustered, trying to play it cool, trying to pretend she doesn't feel the same spark, but trust me, she does. Their storyline is about to get dramatic and messy and perfect. And I, for one, cannot wait. Meanwhile, back at the reception, the vibes after the performance settle back into that soft, happy, love-filled wedding glow. Well, as much glow as you can have when half the guests are still trying to emotionally recover from the Fias jump scare earlier. There's dancing, laughing, those cute little couples swaying together, even though the music is probably too fast for slow dancing, the whole wholesome vibe that wedding episodes are supposed to have. And even though Phyllis definitely derailed the mood for a brief terrifying moment, she manages not to ignite a full-blown explosion, which honestly counts as character development with her track record. Christine and Danny are adorable and blissed out. Lauren is relieved. Kane is gleefully amused. Esther is somewhere feeling guilty about the flower chaos, and Daniel and Tessa are standing in the corner trying not to stare at each other like a couple of teenagers in a coming-of-age movie. And seriously, I cannot get over how wild it is that this whole episode, which should have been simple and romantic and calm, turned into such a delicious mix of drama and sweetness. Because soaps cannot resist squeezing chaos into even the most serene occasions. And honestly, thank God for that because without chaos, what would we even watch? Can you imagine a soap wedding where nothing happens? I don't want that. You don't want that. We all want exactly this mess. So, as the night winds down, let's process the aftermath. Christine is relieved she survived a Phyllis toast with no injuries. Danny is grateful he didn't have to throw himself on a metaphorical grenade. Lauren is humbled. Kane is still chuckling somewhere. Daniel and Tessa are entering their shared emotional spiral era. And Phyllis for once walks away without destroying anything, which might be her biggest achievement all year. It's honestly kind of impressive. But the big takeaway, this wedding reception was everything. It had drama. It had love. It had tension. It had emotional plot twists. It had a musical performance that basically lit the fuse on a brand new romantic entanglement. And because this is a soap, we know the ripple effects are coming. Like tsunamis of drama just waiting to crash into everyone's lives the minute the honeymoon ends. And before I wrap this up, because wow, What an emotional marathon. Let's do a tiny little recap for the people in the back who may have gotten lost somewhere between the champagne, the singing, and the romantic doom. Phyllis pulled off a miracle by giving a toast that didn't ignite an apocalypse. Christine and Danny managed to enjoy a wedding without needing police intervention. Lauren apologized for wrongly accusing Phyllis of floral sabotage. Daniel and Tessa basically fell in love on stage in front of everyone, and half the guests spent the night waiting for chaos that never quite arrived, which might be the most shocking part of the whole evening. And that, my loves, is the full, wild, messy, funny, weirdly heartwarming breakdown of one of the most entertaining wedding receptions to ever grace the soap universe. So, thank you for hanging out with me, for loving these crazy fictional humans as much as I do, and for showing up every time we dive into the delicious nonsense that keeps our screens dramatic and our group chats active. You are the best part of this little soap-obsessed corner of the world. And until next time, stay dramatic, stay hydrated, avoid letting your rivals grab champagne glasses near microphones, and thank you seriously for watching, listening, and being here. Love you all. Bye. If he really is CLA's dad and tied to Noah's ordeal, that's double the drama, double the heartbreak. Claire could be caught between protecting her family and facing the ugly truth. A familiar on-screen connection. Here's a fun behind-the-scenes twist. Roger Howarth, Mitch, and Haley Aaron Claire already played a father-daughter duo on General Hospital. Remember Franco and Kiki? Fans loved their dynamic and the chemistry is still there. Roger even dropped a photo with Haley recently, sparking speculation that Y&R might be recreating that same emotional magic. If Y&R really goes through with this twist, it's going to shake both the Newman and Beale families to their core. Claire would still be Victoria's daughter, but her father's identity could change everything. We're talking emotional turmoil, buried secrets, and maybe even a redemption arc for Mitch. So, what do you think? Y&R fans? Could Mitch really be CLA's secret father? Will this revelation connect the LA and Genoa City storylines in one explosive twist? Either way, this reveal could be the storyline that turns fall in Genoa City into full-on emotional chaos. Stay tuned because when the DNA results drop, you know it's going to be classic Y&R. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Sharon's chilling discovery and Matt Clark's shocking return. Things are about to get eerie in Genoa City as an old enemy possibly returns from the grave and Sharon Newman is the first to sense the danger. Sharon's shocking encounter. Sharon Newman crosses paths with a man who stops her cold. Mitch McCall, but when she looks into his eyes, she's convinced she's really staring at Matt Clark, her former nemesis. The running happens right outside the shadow room, and it shakes Sharon to her core. Even though Mitch insists she's mistaken, Sharon doesn't buy it. He might claim his old life is gone or that Matt Clark is dead, but Sharon's instincts are screaming otherwise. Deep down, she knows Matt is alive and hiding in plain sight under a new name. Before we continue, score big savings at the Michael Kors outlet with up to 70% off during our back-to-school sale. Don't wait. Shop now and upgrade your style for less before the deals are gone. Nick learns the truth. When Sharon tells Nick Newman what happened, his jaw practically hits the floor. Matt Clark, the man they both thought was long gone, might actually be walking around LA as Mitch McCall. Nick can't believe it, but Sharon's conviction is unshakable. The two start connecting the dots, especially after realizing Mitch has been spending time with Noah. Now, both Sharon and Nick are terrified that Matt might be trying to worm his way back into their family and maybe even take revenge. Their next move, dig up every secret they can find before Matt strikes again. Sienna and Mitch's tense reunion. Meanwhile, Sienna Ball finally reconnects with her husband, Mitch, who's been conveniently away longer than she expected. She's not happy about his vanishing act and starts asking questions he clearly doesn't want to answer. What Sienna doesn't know could destroy her. She's married to a man with a criminal past and a long history of deceit. Whether she learns the truth now or later, the fallout will be devastating. Claire and Holden's complicated morning after over on the softer side of the drama. Claire Newman wakes up next to Holden Novak after their first night together. She insists she has no regrets, but that doesn't mean she's at peace. Even though Claire is single after her breakup with Kyle Abbott, she can't help but feel a pang of guilt as if she's moved on too fast. Now she'll have to figure out whether what she has with Holden is real or just a way to fill the void. This week's storylines are dripping with secrets, taking chances, and shocking truths. Sharon and Nick's discovery could reunite history if Matt Clark really is alive. Sienna's marriage may crumble once she learns who her husband truly is. And CLA's love life is getting complicated fast. In Genoa City, the dead never stay buried, and neither do old grudges. Thank you for watching till the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let us know in the comments. Do you think Mitch is really Matt Clark? Hey, Young and the Restless fans. Halloween may be all about costumes and candy for some, but in Genoa City, it's also about danger, drama, and a whole lot of mystery. From Sharon's risky investigation to Roger Howarth's big debut, this week's got everything. Before we continue, unlock an extra 15% off your purchase at Stream of Cookware with code BYEBYE at checkout. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer to upgrade your kitchen with the best in non-toxic, eco-friendly cookware. Let's start with Sharon Newman because our girl is not backing down. Sharon keeps digging into what really happened to Noah Newman, but that digging might just land her in serious trouble. Yep. Spoilers tease her search for answers could make her a target just like Noah, meaning someone out there really doesn't want her uncovering the truth. Expect major tension and some heart-pounding moments as Sharon's curiosity turns downright dangerous. And speaking of danger, guess who's entering the chat? Roger Howarth finally makes his Y&R debut as Mitch McCall, reuniting with Sienna. The two will catch up, swap secrets, and stir the pot in ways only these two can. But here's the kicker. Mitch may cross paths with Sharon during her investigation. Will he be her unexpected ally or her newest threat? Either way, it's going to get juicy. Meanwhile, over at the Abbott mansion, we've got something much cuter going on. Kyle is pulling out all the stops to make Harrison's Halloween magical. Harrison comes up with a hilarious, maybe even embarrassing costume idea, and Kyle's Alan. It's pure father-son fun, full of laughs and heartwarming moments. But even amid the candy and chaos, Harrison still misses Claire Newman, who's out of town. And speaking of Claire, she's over in Los Angeles with Holden Novak, and their chemistry is undeniable. The two are growing closer, showing a more playful side, and might even sneak back into the shadow room for some Halloween mischief. Could this be the start of a new romance or a new mess? Time will tell. Back in Genoa City, Sharon's investigation is about to collide with Mitch McCall's arrival, setting the stage for some intense scenes ahead. Danger is closing in, and the mystery around Noah's wreck is just getting deeper. So, here's your Halloween roundup. Sharon's digging into danger. Roger Howarth debuts as Mitch McCall. Kyle and Harrison steal hearts with their costumes. Man, Claire and Holden turn up the heat in LA. This week, Genoa City is giving us tricks, treats, and total chaos. So, what do you think? Y&R fam? Will Sharon find the truth before it's too late? Drop your theories below. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching till the end. Same treatment. His beloved once mourned, but even then, the focus shifted away too quickly. It's starting to feel like grief in Genoa City happens behind closed doors while viewers are left locked outside. The question is why? Why take away the very scenes that so fans crave the most? The heartbreak, the family drama, the messy emotions that make these stories unforgettable. By cutting these goodbyes short, the show isn't just disrespecting the characters, it's underestimating the audience. The whole left behind. The fallout from Chance's death could have been a turning point. Nell left without her son should have been front and center. Jill losing her grandson could have anchored the kind of emotional family-driven storytelling that makes WER so powerful. Instead, both women's grief was sidelined while the canvas moved on almost too quickly. The France storyline might have been dramatic, but skipping past Chance's memorial robbed the moment of its heat. It leaves a hole, not just in Na's life or Jill's world, but in the show's storytelling itself. So, here's the real sting. Fans aren't just mourning chance. They're mourning what could have been. So, hit that like button, subscribe, and keep this conversation going. The Young and the Restless. Spoilers. Noah's crash mystery. Claire's LA trouble and Victoria's risky move. From heartbreak to high-stakes drama. The Young and the Restless threw us a curveball today. A tragic accident for Noah. Growing danger for CLA and a middling mama ready to fly across the country. Let's dive into everything that went down and what's coming next in Genoa City in LA. The episode opens with Sharon and Nick Newman receiving devastating news. Their son Noah has been in a serious car crash. Sharon is shaken. Nick is furious and both rush to the hospital desperate for answers. When they arrive, the tension is palpable. Doctors confirm Noah's injuries are severe. But it's the mystery surrounding the accident that really raises eyebrows. Was this a random crash or something darker? Nick starts asking questions right away, realizing the details don't add up. There's talk of a possible hidden run and the idea that someone may have intentionally caused you wreck. By the end of the week, spoiler Nick will go full detective mode. And you know when a Newman starts investigating secrets.